What's up, guys? It's Nick from AN Collect coming at you with the National Review and some of the pickups. This is a couple weeks after the National. Um, there's reasons behind that. Um, I kind of want to let things settle. I've been super busy. The day after I came back from the National, I went to a family vacation for a week. And then the week after that, I had 10 pallets come in for my other business, Amazon, and I had to get through that, and here we are today. So this is going to be, I didn't want it to be just me talking with a blank wall, so I'm going to show some of my pickups. Um, a lot of what I bought, the higher demand stuff, has already sold. So um, there is a bunch of this stuff. It's all from budget boxes, dollar boxes, $2 boxes, $5 boxes. There's some more expensive stuff in here that I paid a little bit more for. There was some vintage stuff that everything in the box was $10, so I'll go through that. But I also said this is National Review, so I'm going to kind of give my experience from the National getting there to when I left. Um, so Wednesday night I got there. I'll just go through some of the. Were from the singles club. Everything was $1. Um, I got there Wednesday night. I got there after the convention closed. I got there again, like in 2016. I got there when the convention was letting out. Trying to check in my hotel. Everybody's trying to check in their hotel. That's not numbered, but it's from, like I said, the dollar. Um, it's a refractor. And so my first experience was waiting in line for ever at the hotel. I get to the hotel. It's being remodeled. I was comped. It was a Tropicana. Vladimir Guerrero, number 299. So I get there. I get my cards in. I'm nervous because I brought a lot of stuff with me to trade, to sell, yada, yada, yada. And the bellboys took it basically and they put it in the back. I get in, get everything checked in. Everything's cool. Get to my room, make sure everything's there, go out. Um, Go to grab some pizza, which is horrible. 10 o'clock pizza in New Jersey is not great. Um, and then I am coming back to the hotel, and there's a kid there, and he's, not a kid. I mean, a kid for me. He's like 20-ish. He couldn't make any trades at a trade night, the first night there, and he was kind of all pissy and not bad. Some Hall of Famers. These aren't worth much. They're going to be on my budget boxes. But he's kind of like, I can't trade any of these lower dollar cards, blah, blah, blah. So I talked to him, and that's just a flyer. For $1, I'll take a flyer on a Paxton Lynch. So I talked to him, and I go through it. It's just 2 or 3 row shoebox. I want to say it was 2 row. It might have been 3. Just full of like lower end autos, Leaf, Prospect, just a ton. So I said, well, do you want to sell it? Mark McGuire, Dennis Eckersley, Bruce Smith, Finest, Drew Lock Silver, again, taking a flyer, Joey Bosa Silver. And he goes back and forth, and he throws. I said, do you want me to make an offer? He says, nah, I'll take $300 for it. Now, that's about $1 per card at this point. I said, are you sure? He says, yeah. So I bought the shoebox. Dwight Freeney rookie. I'm in the Syracuse area, so Dwight Freeney, picked up a couple of those. Josh Rosens, Zach Wilson, don't know who that is, but rookie card, and A.J. Brown rookie card, $1 box. So, I really didn't go through it too well. I just saw a lot of them were autographs. There was some stuff in there. I didn't look good. But $300, I'll take it. I took it. Kid said thank you, was happy. I ended up giving him a couple cards too. that he collected some Yankees stuff that I had with me. I don't even remember. They were like $20 cards. Kid was happy. Say kid again, but he was like 20s. AJ Brown again. Cooper Kupp, $4.50. I think that's it for the dollar. Yeah, that's it for the dollar stuff. And he was happy, and I never saw him again. He was in the hotel room, or in the hotel somewhere, and I never ran into him again the next 4 days. So I go back to the room. I'm curious on this, and the first row I go through has a Jason Dominguez redemption and a lighter redemption, the top prospect. Can't think of his first name. So with those two cards, I got half my money back, and I was happy. Left it there. Didn't go any further. I went through it later. On eBay, I've already made my money back, and there's probably 200 more cards to list off of that. It's not going to be a huge profit. I think it was a fair deal for a bulk deal. There's a lot of $3, $4 autographs. There was a couple, I think there was 2 cards that were $50 to $75. There was 3 or 4 cards that were $50 to $74. And then there's a couple $10 cards here and there. Nothing huge. It was definitely a really good deal. I gave the kid what he wanted. I would have went a little higher, but somebody says, "Hey, $300, you take it," and the kid got $300 to go and spend. So that's how my national started. It was a good first day purchase, $300 out of my wallet. Go to bed. Day 1 for me. Day 1 started with me. I had one goal, one challenge for the National, and that was putting the 1956 Yankees team set together. The hardest card to get out of that would be the Mickey Mantle. That was authentic. Oh, there was one more. Rashad Penny, select rookie from the dollar booth. I think that's it. Oh, maybe one more. Troy Aikman, Wendell Swallow. I'm sure there's going to be a few more in there. But anyway, and the challenge was completed. It wasn't completed until Saturday, but the first card I got was the hardest card that I thought was going to be to get. I had talked to John from Sports Card Nation. He was about to get ready on stage. I kind of just did a walkthrough when I first got there. It was much bigger than 2016, much busier than 2016. And getting there was a little bit harder because there was a ton more people. I took an Uber. I left my hotel about 9:30, got there maybe 10:15, 10:30. Getting in was really easy compared to the other nationals. And, you went through, did a walkthrough. I saw a friend of mine that is local here, was there selling wax, made a deal with him for our group, for our breakers. We bought a bunch of wax off of him. And then I kind of walked around, kind of got a feel for things, and ran into John. He asked me if I purchased anything. I said, no, I'm here. My only goal, personal collection-wise, is to get the 56 Mantle and the set. And probably within 5 minutes of talking to him, boom, nailed it. And probably within 5 minutes of that, it was out for grading. So it was really quick. It was a low grade. I didn't care. And I'll do that when I do the 56 set. But the first day, I found some vintage football in a $5 and $10 box. $5 and $10 box. Yeah, $5 and $10 box. I did good. I got a Ditka. This was, out of a $5 $10 box. Found a dealer. Everything in the boxes, these were $5. Ben Roethlisberger rookie. Jalen Hurts rookie. Hulk Hogan. I think I got these for less than $5. I made a deal. I made a pile. Marcus Peters for the PC. Chiefs fan. Another one. Local, Syracuse. Raheem Christmas, Chris McCullough. They were big names locally. Josh Allen. Thurman Munson. Brett Favre rookie. This is out of that $10 box. $10 box. It's not a rookie card. Johnny Unitas was out of the $10 box. And then these were out of singles club. But anyway, first day, that was really the big purchase. That and the wax. I was getting a feel for things. I went around. I made some deals. Some of the graded stuff that I bought and sold was bought that day. I had some Jalen Hurts was big, and he was hard to find after Thursday. So I'm glad I pulled the trigger when I did. These were these were in a dollar box too. Some of that stuff was top loaded. But yeah, it was a pretty good just to get a feel for things, how it was going to be. I met a couple of content creators. I know Gary V, like the guy, got my picture with him. And that was, like I said, just looking around, getting a feel for dealers, getting a feel for what pricing would be. There were some dealers that were super high. There were some dealers that you could find bargains. Almost everyone I dealt with was willing to move on price a little bit. The one thing I did find kind of funny on Thursday is people selling to dealers wanted over 100% comps. They wanted 120, 140% comps. It was kind of funny. I don't know if that was the whole picture, but the 3 or 4 guys that I heard trying to make a deal, there was $1,000 card. Last deal was like $998. The kid wanted $1,350 for it, and the dealer was like, "I can't pay over what it sells for." And the kid's argument was, "Well, in football season, he'll go up." The obvious takeaway is dealers can't pay what might happen in the future. They have to have. Most of them were paying 70 to 80% comps, or some guys that were 40% to 60%. Just depends on who you hit. I did some trades. I got 85% in my trades. It was the people. If you looked around, you found dealers that were willing to deal. There was dealers that were just 40%. And they mostly deal in vintage. That's what they're used to paying from 1980. So that was Thursday. Thursday night, what did I do Thursday night? Thursday night, I just took a walk down the boardwalk, had a few drinks on the way down the boardwalk, and just kind of chilled out. There were some trade nights. I wasn't really interested in them that were going on that night. But yeah, I got back to the hotel. Just kind of chilled out. Here we go. Ernie Banks. That was out of $10 box. These were out of a $5 box, the Trouts. This is out of a $5 box. That was out of a $5 box. It's kind of, it's got some scratches and stuff on it. It's not perfect. And I think the corners are pretty bad. But it's Travis Kelce rookie. These were a $5 box. Trouts. I think they're 2012. Yeah, 2012 Trouts. This was a $10 box. Look at the numbering. Look at that patch. But anyway, so Thursday night comes to an end. I was going to go to a content creator thing that I knew was going on, but chose not to. $10 box, Fernando Tatis. This was, of course, before he did what he did. And I want to say that's a rookie. No, this is 2020. I want to say that's out of a $1 box. Acuna to 149. Just kind of, like I said, Thursday was just a feel-out day. Friday, woke up, and Thursday I left the show early. I heard a bunch of dealers saying that they couldn't get Ubers later at night. So I left about 3 o'clock, and I was kind of tired. A long drive down there. Just wanted to relax. So Friday was a big purchasing day. I purchased a bunch of graded stuff. I just found some more dollar box stuff. And some of the stuff I might already have. I know I have that card, but I think that's in better condition. Bernie Williams gold card. That was out of a $5 box. And that Shack was no, that was out of a $1 box. It's not numbered. Just kind of that's PC. Went to the show, and it was Friday was going to be the day. Like, I was going to go hard nosed. That was going to be the day for the business. Like, because Saturday I had an autograph signing set up. So Friday was the day, and I was going to look for some of the 56 set. I pulled like 4 or 5 cards from the 56 set. I was about 10 cards done on Friday. I made a couple deals, again, with Randy for wax, our sports card guy, or the guy that was selling wax. And that's on a 10, believe it or not. That was in a $5 box. These are second year Currys. And I made a lot of purchases, a lot of bulk stuff for shows, like my $5 boxes, my $10 boxes. I was just making deals of stuff that would that was in a $10 box. That was in a $5 box. $5 box. $5 box. Cunha rookie in a $10 box. Cameron Thomas was in a $10 box. Schnell was, I think, a $5 box. And that Shack, that Shack is something I pulled right before the National. But these were out of $5 boxes, some PC. So anyway, Friday was just buying. Show was a lot more crowded. Bathrooms were a lot harder to get to. Food lines were a lot longer. The secret to that show was if you left the convention center, went down the hallway to the right, there was a bus station or a train station, something like that. There was no lines at the food station there. And it was cheaper than the food you can get inside the convention center. And you didn't have to worry about re-entry. You had a wristband, whatever. So that was like, that was the secret. And there was bathrooms there. Never had to wait in line if you went down in this room. So that was, if it ever is held there again, remember that. Probably giving that secret away will probably ruin it the next time. But from what I hear, it's never going to happen in Atlantic City. There just isn't enough space there for people, for food wise and all that in the city and getting into the actual convention center. In 2016, it was okay. It just was too much. There was over 90,000 people at the show. But again, Friday was just purchasing for the business, purchasing a lot of bulk. I went home with a full 3-row shoebox full of like this stuff, the $5. I'm still going through it. This is the stuff that was right on top that I grabbed. I just didn't want you guys to be bored while I was talking, and you're going to be for a couple minutes. But it was just buying for the business. I met Card Collector 2. I met the guys from Sports Card Nonsense. And I met Sports Card Investor. All good guys. Shook their hands. Talked to them for 5 minutes. Talked to a couple consignment guys. Probstein. I use all of them for buying, and I can't think of all their names. Probstein, they're all eBay consignment guys. Talked to them for a few minutes. Got an idea of who I might want to use if I ever got out, a huge thing that I could never go through. And I kind of looked around at the Breaking Pavilion and just kind of wandered around for the last hour or two. I bought a lot. I spent about $1,000 on stuff to resell, which isn't a huge amount. I spent more on the graded cards the day before. Friday, it was a little harder to get a deal. Some dealers had raised their prices, and they were like at comp or just above comp, but they were selling a lot, so they went up with the flow. They went with what was going on. Jalen Hurts cards definitely raised in prices. There was cards I went back to look at Friday that were $20 or $30 higher. Didn't make sense to buy to resell at that point. And it was a very, looking at the crowd, to every national I've been to, there was more kids, more women than I've ever seen at a national before. It was definitely, it showed you where the hobby was. It wasn't just a bunch of old guys, 25 to 40-year-olds hanging out. It was actually very diverse. It was good to see. It's good to see as somebody that's a dealer in a hobby. It's good to see that somebody that loves a hobby, that it's getting there. I mean, my girls right now, my hope is Pokemon, and if they grow into sports cards, that's great. I got all girls. If not, I'm not going to force it on them. It should be, but seeing girls in the hobby and them being young enough where if that trend continues, that they might join the hobby. It was kind of refreshing to see. Hold on a second. I think I got some greeting cards. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just some PC and some potential flips on the road. It was nice to see that. And the presence at the corporate booths is something I didn't mention for Thursday. It kind of gave me a wow factor. As somebody that sells on Amazon as part of their income, I go to a lot of trade shows. And it kind of had that feel like a trade so in the corporate section, a trade show feel like they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the Fanatics display for Stranger Things and Clerks 3. Oh my god. It was like a 20-foot TV and just it was amazing. If you go to my Instagram and my Twitter, I think I put pictures up of it in the Facebook page. It was pretty incredible. And the golden displays, all the displays were just enormous. And that's something that, to me, at least it doesn't seem like it was that way in the near past. Like in the last few years, it doesn't seem like the corporate section was like that. It could be, but it really stood out in my mind it was more like a trade show, like I would go to buy products from a manufacturer. It had that feel. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent, and it was pretty nice to see. Comic Con has that kind of feel with some of the displays from the distributors. Like Funko comes in, does a huge thing. And that's what it felt like. They were doing drops at the Fanatics thing, the Fanatics non-sports area. They were doing drops at the sports card area. Topps was doing drops, what they always do. And I also Friday I bought some boxes and got some Topps redemptions. Those are all gone. It was for the Platinum Chrome set. They made Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez, Torkelson, and can't think of the other guy now. Wander Franco for the 52 in that 52 set design. I pulled two Julio Rodriguez, a Bobby Witt, and a Torkelson to 10. So that was pretty cool. But here are some of the PSA cards I snagged. These were just, I think these were in that $10 box. A lot of it's PC. The Frank Thomas is like a card I always wanted when I was a kid. One of them PSA 9, I'm happy. Derek Thomas, PSA 9 for $10. You can't get the card graded for $10. I don't know what the guy was doing there because I think those are worth way more. All these were $10. Like I said, I think I don't know. I haven't even looked them up, but I figured, and these weren't. I snagged some more out of there that I've already sold that I knew were worth more. But yeah, Friday was just checking out everything and at the last hour or so, and I made another deal with another person. I bought about 20 cards off them. Small deals like $50 to $100 cards. Again, it was cards that are hard to trade up. He'd be better off having cash. He'd get more for his cash than he would to trade. I gave him about 70-80% of comps. It was a good deal for both of us. Again, a lot of that stuff has already moved. A lot of that stuff jumped after the show. Then, that was it. Friday, I went to one trade night. I stayed for about a half hour. It was packed. It was too hot, it was too crowded, and a lot of people didn't take a break in between the show and the trade night, if you know what I mean. Um, that was, you know, that was I was there to have fun in business, but that's just too much. Like I can't if I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to be there. And that's just me. A lot of the guys like that stuff. I'm just not one for the crowded rooms. Come to Saturday. Saturday, I had autograph tickets for Ricky Henderson, uh, Mariano Rivera. How did I forget that? And Larry Thomas, who is the soup chef from Seinfeld. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the other word on YouTube, so I won't. The soup chef. I had him sign a bunch of Funko. Um, Ricky Henderson was the first autograph. I had a really high number, so I waited in line quite a bit, which I didn't really wait in line. I kind of there was vendors there, and I kind of looked. I hadn't seen much of what was at the back of the room, but it was more like Ultra Pro type stuff and already autographed stuff. Um, so I kind of just wandered there. The Ricky Henderson signing, I got my childhood Ricky Henderson rookie card signed. Um, and it's in junky condition. I'm getting it slabbed, but it's special to me. It's authenticated. That's what matters to me. The Mariano jersey was I would have paid $1,000 to get it done. One of my friends who has passed, I won it at her benefit. That jersey was worn at my wedding. Uh, believe it or not when we were getting married, but when we did something at the wedding, I wore it. And I always promised her if I had an opportunity, I would get an autograph. She passed on, but the jersey's autograph is getting framed, and that jersey means a lot to me. It's been in my wedding. My firstborn had pictures taken in it. It it's a meaningful piece, and like I said, I would have paid up to $1,000 to get that done. It didn't matter. Um, I got it authenticated, and I told my wife it's authenticated. If I ever die and you want to get rid of it, you're good to go. You have the authentication. And then Larry Thomas was kind of odd. Mariano was cool. Ricky Henderson was the coolest. He took a selfie with me, and that was pretty cool. And he talked with you for a few minutes while giving you your autograph. And he's not one of the athletes that's charging more for signing a rookie card. Joe Montana was charging $8.99 to sign his rookie card. Marino was like $500. Almost everybody on the list was charging more to sign their rookie cards because they know that's becoming a popular thing. And that's why I didn't get a Mariano rookie card signed too. He wanted, let's say, he wanted $400 for it. I could be wrong, but he was up there. It just wasn't. You couldn't buy one for less than that right now. And the jersey means way more to me than that card would ever mean. But yeah, it was cool doing the autographs. It was 5 hours out of the day though, for just those three signers, waiting for the authentication. The TriStar authentication was a huge line. That's something I think they could do better with. I don't know how they do it better, but there's got to be a better way than what they did. 2 hours in line for authentication was a little bit much. It ended up, I was still probably an hour and a half ahead of me in line for the last authentication. I was going to take them all at once, but I forgot one of my tickets for Larry Thomas, went and got the stuff signed. Some kid gave me an all access pass, and then I passed it along to a kid and his father who was waiting in line. I said, here, I heard you guys talking. You were going to go tomorrow. You get this. You're in front of the line both days. So that is it's paying it forward and backwards and upside down and whatever. And then walking out of the show, I made one or two more deals to wrap up the 56 set. Yeah, 2 deals to wrap up the 56 set. I bought the rest of the card. I bought a bunch on Friday. I think I was mostly done. I had 5 more cards, and then I bought 2 upgraded cards that were graded. So I completed the 56 set. Check. Done. My one PC thing that I wanted to do, and I bought a bunch of other PCs. You saw, I'm a Yankee fan, Chiefs fan, yada, yada, yada. Now, my overall view of the show, I like it better than the other places because it's more spread out, except for the TriStar area. The TriStar area is worse at the Atlantic City show. Everything else was better. The tables were more spread out. I didn't have any problems like um, looking at tables. Some people did. I guess I don't know. Maybe I just had the right time to look at things. And everybody's experience is going to be different. There's people that absolutely hated the show. Do I think Atlantic City is the best city in the world? No. It's got its problems. Chicago has its problems. Cleveland has its problems. A lot of people don't like to travel in Atlantic City. I get that. Like, for me, it's easy. I drive down. For a lot of people, they had to airport, train, or airport and Uber or whatever they had to do to get from Philadelphia to there. Um, I get it. And a lot of people bagged on it. My biggest issues with the show, internet. I couldn't pay with my credit card several times during the show. Uh, Sometimes the Ubers were a little bit expensive. It was better to take a cab. Um, Food prices in the convention center, like the people that were in the convention center, were awful. They were high, long lines. Again, I found out the train station thing on Thursday, late Thursday. Never ate in the convention center again. Always paid less, and always had that bathroom was always empty. So um, I do get those things with other people. Sometimes you got to find your own hacks. Um, the show itself, dealer wise and everything, I'd say for the most part it was great. They weren't overpriced. There were some dealers that were asking the moon. That you know, it's the biggest show of the year. Um, Dealers made money. Every dealer I talked to had a really good show. There were some dealers that really didn't want to talk. I met the guys from Nash Cards who I sub SGC through, and I actually subbed through them. That's where the Mickey Mantle went. Was through them. And a couple other cards went through them. I had a Tom Brady that went through them too. I don't know if I brought the Tom though. And you know, it just, in my opinion, it's better than Chicago for somebody that wants to look at cards and buy cards. Um, it's not as closed in. It's not as tight. You don't have to like, somebody's not in your book bag while you're looking at things. It just, to me, it's a better show that way. Um, if I had to rank them for looking through the show, Chicago is probably third. It's Cleveland, Atlantic City 1 and 2, and then Chicago. Um, Chicago has better, better transportation, better logistics. That's the word I'm looking for. But it is what it is. And Atlantic City, like Las Vegas, like a lot of major cities, you go out of that main strip, things are rough. And a lot of people rented VRBOs and bed and breakfasts or whatever they're called. I know the guys from Sports Card Radio were saying on their podcast they got broken into. I get it. That ruins your experience. Like when you have to deal with that kind of stuff, it ruins your experience. I get it. I personally, when I go to Vegas or Atlantic City, I stay right in the hotels on the main strip, and I don't wander too far from it. I know how it is. I have friends. Actually, I've got friends that work emergency services and have worked in Atlanta or Vegas and yada yada yada. I just know you don't go off the beaten path. It's just not smart. Um, I could see why they wouldn't have it back in Atlantic City. Logistically, it's rough. For me, it's simple. It's a drive. It's a 5-hour drive. I stop about halfway. I got a place I stop about halfway. I eat, kind of relax for a few minutes, and then go again. Um, a lot of people don't have that. I get it. Chicago, or not Chicago, Cleveland's the same way. Chicago's a little bit of a drive for me. I probably would still drive over flying, depending on what plane tickets are going. They're kind of expensive right now. But that's not why I kind of like seeing the country. and you can't really see it from a plane. And I like stopping at shops. It depends on how much time I have to do that drive and how much, it depends on a lot of factors. Next year's in Chicago. I got to make my plans. Last time I went, I flew. Um, but I'd like to stop at card shops on the way there. If I'm going for the whole week, like Tuesday to Friday, I'd start off Monday and stop a couple places. That's one thing I wish I did. I wish I went down a day earlier on Tuesday and stopped at it. There were some card shops on the map on the way down that I would have liked to stop at, but I spent plenty at the show. I bought a lot of inventory, and I had a lot of fun. So yeah, but yeah, all in all, I'm gonna give it like a 7, because of the logistical. Like, you couldn't walk to the show. I was half a mile away from the show. I wouldn't walk through there if you were giving me $1 million on the other side. Um, it just was. It was a scary scene. You can look out the window and you could just see. If you looked out your hotel window from the back, or between the convention there, it was scary looking. There was, I didn't run into any homeless people, but a lot of people said they ran into homeless people everywhere down there. I find it hard to believe, even on the boardwalk, I didn't run into one. Um, so that I don't know, but I won't knock them or their experience. That's just not me. Um, Cleveland, in my opinion, Cleveland is probably number one for where a show should be. There's so many other things to do outside the show. Chicago, I won't beat it down, but it's those are the only 3 spots I've been to a national, and Chicago to me is the hardest to get to, and um, it was just tight for being a card collector, shopper. Yes, the trade shows were better. It was more spread out. The things around the show are better at Chicago. The actual show, if I'm grading the show, it goes Cleveland, Atlantic City, just because of the space, and then Chicago. But the other way around, if you're going to stuff around the show, it's probably Cleveland, Chicago, and Atlantic City is definitely last. Just because, like I said, you can't wander off the strip. You can't, and you're wondering when the bellboys take your stuff to your car, or it's just a natural thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. But that is my experience at the National. Um, it, this video is kind of boring, unless you just listen to it. And I kind of got off track when I was showing cards, but it, I, I I liked it. I really liked the National. I'm going to be doing a video for my 56 set, and yeah, it was a successful show for me as a PC and a business. Um, there were a lot of negatives, there were a lot of positives. I don't know. I enjoy casinos, so that's I probably see it a little different than other people. I like to play poker, I like to play blackjack, slot machines, whatever. So maybe I see it as a little different. I didn't do a lot of that down there, but still had a good time. I want to thank you all. If you liked it, let me know. Next year will be a little bit more organized and better. Like I said, I just wanted to share my experience, let it marinate for 3 weeks because I was super busy. And thank you. If you're watching, thank you. And don't think that these were my top cards. I sold a lot of stuff already. It was just, like I said, I would have loved to do videos from the hotel room. That is another negative. My hotel room was dark, like it was a cave. I tried everything. I tried putting cell phone light and everything to do a video, and I just couldn't do it. And I had a GoPro with me to do it, and it just wasn't happening. So that was a negative to me. And the hotel was renovating. My room, like the bed was good, everything was good except for where you walked in. The carpet was a little old. But yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Like I said, I didn't pay much for the hotel, and it was much nicer than the other places I saw. So, like I said, a little like the walkway in carpet was a little old, so everything else was new. So, but thank you guys for watching. If you watched it, I'm sorry if you disliked it. I got a little off on a tangent when I was going through my cards, but like I said, each day had a little success. The bulk of the Yankee set was bought on Friday, and I finished up before Ricky. I want to say Ricky Henderson was at 11:45. I think I finished up before his signing, or in between his signing and Mariano's signing, one of the two. But yeah, it was nice meeting a lot of people down there. I met some people that I had disagreements with on Twitter. I told them I ain't mad. We're just discussing the sports, and they said the same thing. Shook hands, walked away. That was it. And we actually started following each other on Twitter. Like we talked for about 15, 20 minutes. Two people that, we disagree on the Wander Franco thing, and we went back and forth, took a couple jabs, and it was all in fun. In my mind, it was all in fun, and I was glad to see it was there in their mind too. And like eating dinner with a couple friends. I want Thursday or Friday, I don't even remember. And I went to one restaurant on Thursday, or it was Saturday that I had friends. Dinner with friends. I went to a restaurant on Thursday, and I ordered spaghetti. And usually when you get spaghetti, at least in New York, you get a bowl. Like, I was hungry. It was a long day. I hadn't eaten all day. I think I had a pretzel at the thing. And they brought me out like appetizer size, and it was like $25 for spaghetti, like that big. Then Friday, I went out, and I didn't realize it was like family style meals, and the stuff they brought me were in big trays. I was wondering why it was a little bit more expensive, but I figured it's in a casino hotel, a brand name. It was a Caesars hotel, so I didn't think anything of it. Yeah. So I had opposite experiences on Thursday and Friday. It was kind of funny. And then Saturday, I ate with friends at Tropicana, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was delicious. It was on the third floor where the hotel rooms are, and I can't remember the name of it. It's not a place. Honey something honey. Maybe it was just honey or honey jar. Or, I don't know. It was good. It was really good. It was barbecue. If you're ever there and you're looking for somewhere different, it was actually really good barbecue for Atlantic City. But other than that, like I said, it was a good experience overall. It was good. If it happened in Atlantic City again, I wouldn't refuse to go. Would I rather it be somewhere else? Maybe. But there's a lot of problems right now in our country, and a lot of areas might be like that with homeless or whatever. And like I said, I didn't see any, but a lot of people did, and that was their biggest beef. There was two guys I heard got cleaned out in a poker game, and they were really negative about stuff. But that's cool, it happens. There was a lot of people that were upset. There's a lot of people that really didn't care. We had fun either way. We made what we could out of it, and are there other places that it could be? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It is what it is. But if you put your whole show based around the show instead of what happened in the show, you're kind of being biased. That's all I'll say. Thank you guys. If you liked the video, like and comment, and I appreciate it. We will have better editing coming soon, and probably some news coming in the next couple weeks. Peace out.